This is the Tier 10 Soviet tech tree heavy, the IS-4, a vehicle that has always been known for two things: armor and hit points. Previously, the IS-4 sat at 2,800 hit points and had incredible armor, enough to get bouncers from any opponents in front of you, plus it had 374 millimeters of heat pen, making it easily able to butter through any armor in front of you. It really is the jack of all trades when it comes to Soviet heavies, or at least it was. In the latest update of the game, Wargaming just kind of butchered the vehicle. I mean, sure, it did get some buffs, which we'll break into in just a moment, but the nerfs, man, were they bad. Let's start off with the nerf to the armor. Making our way over to Armor Inspector, we can see the changes. This is AP ammo of an E100 shooting at the IS-4's upper plate. So that's about 260-ish mils a pen. I mean, that's terrible. 250 on the upper plate, bro. Why is it so bad? And the lower plate is now 170. Essentially, at no matter what angle you're at, that lower plate will always be a pen. So just don't even bother trying to angle the tank. It's not going to matter. Just try to hide the lower plate by using gun depression. And speaking of gun depression, using it fully hull down, if you're running Cali in your heavies, you'll still be able to cut right through the vehicle. This is even running enhanced armor. So if you're not running enhanced, it's going to be weaker at about 340. Again, just really disappointing. Yeah. Now, the good thing is the IS-4 turret armor didn't change. The mantlet's still impossible to pen, and the turret cheeks overall are really good. You only got these tiny little weak spots. So I am glad to say that at least the IS-4 is still going to have really good armor if you hide the hull, but it's not an easy hull to hide when you only have 6 degrees of gun depression. The side armor is still very good. We can see heat shells are going to struggle to pen the vehicle, especially if you're running enhanced. It's still going to be decent at side scraping, but if you over-angle just a little bit, you're going to get penned every time, so keep that in mind. It's just, I don't know, it's very disappointing to see what was done to this vehicle. It's always been known for strong armor, and I mean, that was literally just taken away in the latest update, so very disappointing. Something else that was changed was the pen. It went from 374 mils of heat pen to 363. Why Wargaming nerfed the heat pen? I can't tell you, to be honest, but they did. So yeah, the vehicle lost the three main things it's been known for ever since its creation. It lost hit points and now sits at 2,540 instead of 2,800, which doesn't make sense when they buffed the IS-7 and 60 TPs, HP upwards of 2,750 now, so what do I know? Apparently balance is just something that eludes me. But yeah, pretty darn disappointing. So what happened to the tank? Well, it gained DPM, now sits at 2,800 with rammer, which is actually a lot. Even with Cali, it's upwards of 2,600, which is pretty dang solid. Its mobility got buffed. It now reaches a top speed of 42 with a much better power to weight when it used to only go 38. So, I mean, it did get some good things going for it. It's a lot more mobile. It's got more DPM. I think its accuracy also got slightly better. But nobody wanted that. Everybody played the IS-4 because it was the IS-4. It was a frontline heavy that was simple to play, but always got the job done. And now, I mean, it's still simple to play. It's still a pretty frontline heavy, but just not as good as it used to be. Here we are in our first game. Up against us, we have an AMX M4, an IS-7, and a Super Conk. Okay. I mean, they also got some strong tank destroyers. They got a 4005 Jagdpanzer and 268, so we'll see what we can do here. I'm obviously going to ping for my team to go over towards, I guess this is medium side. I wouldn't really call this heavy side, because heavy side's more town, but you shouldn't ever go town on Port Bay. To be honest, Wargaming needs to completely rework this map. It needs to be either removed from the game, or they need to change the way town works. They need to make medium side more, you know, coherent with the whole thing. I don't know. It's not a bad map, but it's definitely not a well-designed map, is the best way to describe it. So we got the Caro off to the side. I'm not going to be able to get a shell into that, but we can chill right here. We got the Jag right in front of us, and this is a great example of how you want to play the IS-4. Hull down, only showing the turret. In this type of position, we are still going to be incredibly strong, and it's going to be very hard for opponents to pen us. We get a nice shell into the AMX M4, which was pretty nice, and let's put on our adrenaline, see if we can get another shell out maybe. We got the 4005 in the back, and I'm going to HE him if I can. Unfortunately, he is actually running Spaliner, and what the heck was our 4005 doing? Like, bruh. Alright, well, let's reload again, and unfortunate. We just didn't have the reload to get that shell out. Now, we can see where the enemy team's going and what they're doing. So, with that in mind, we are going to push wide, and, ooh, that E100 just bonked the crap out of the enemy AMX M4, but we're going to go wide over here. There's the Super Conk, there's the Jag. We're we're just going to keep cutting over to this position. It's pretty easy to do so, and we can just squeeze right on through to the enemy. So we got the Yag looking at me. Let's get a nice shell into his vehicle. Shoots an HE for some reason. Not going to lie, a weird decision from that player. But that's fine with me. We're going to aim it on the 4005 and get an easy bonk. You'll still notice the IS-4 playstyle is pretty similar. I mean, you just get hauled down and you bonk your opponents. We have support from the E100. Even though this super conk looks like he's going to tunnel me, he literally just obliterated himself in front of an E100 and a 183. So, great job. You going to shoot him E100, or are you just going to, like, stare at him like, huh? Interesting. We know the 4005 was right here. Is the player still there? It appears yes. Yes, the 4005 is still there. Okay. Not a bad result at all. We got the 268 down low, and we got the IS-7 right in front of us. Alright, well, we're just going to push right on up and see if we can get some damage into the IS-7. While they did nerf the heat pen on this tank, it still has plenty to get through our opponents. So we're going to get one nice shell right there, put on our adrenaline, and let's see if we can get another nice pen. Bonk, thank you for the 407. Now we're going to ignore the IS-7 very briefly and get to the side of the 268. Perfect. Okay, he can't shoot me, and we're going to aim in another AP shell into the IS-7. Good, we're up to 3,700 damage at this point, and yeah, I don't know. The IS-4 felt pretty simple in this game. I mean, the gun felt like it always does, and the armor didn't really matter because we just only showed the turret. That's usually my advice for this vehicle, is only try to show your turret armor. That's how I normally play the IS-4. So I know there's going to be a lot of people bummed, but as of right now, I don't know. I haven't really noticed too much of a change. We did 4,400 damage and a pretty solid result. Let's try one more game, and I mean, let's see how the IS-4 does. Obviously, a victory there. And let's take a look at the results. We did 4,486. Is that an ace? Yes. Obviously, when this vehicle got changed, just about every good player stopped using it, so it's not a surprise to me at all that it's an ace. After playing a few games in the IS-4 to get a feel for the tank and its overall playstyle, I can definitely say that while I don't think the armor nerf, destroyed the vehicle, I think losing 300 hit points really hurt it a lot. There's a lot of games I'm playing here where you just can't get away with the maneuvers that you used to because you don't have the HP. I'm even running improved assembly to get as much HP as possible, and it's just not enough. Don't get me wrong, the mobility's okay. Being able to get up to 42 is nice, and having the little bit of extra DPM is okay. But I still don't really understand why this vehicle needed a change. If Wargaming wants to leave the turret armor the same and make it more of a hull-down heavy, then I'll just drive the E5, because the E5's got a much better turret, it's got a better gun in terms of DPM, and yeah, it's just a more enjoyable tank in general after the changes. But again, I don't think the IS-4 is bad. It's just a little bit confused currently. I hope Wargaming does realize their mistakes and change them in future patches. Now, you might have noticed that my video had a tiny cut right here, and that is because my microphone has decided to freak out once again during the middle of the recording, so I have to redo this ending bit. I don't think it's the cable that's the problem with my mic. I actually think it's probably the amplifier. I'm going to order a new one. I've had the amp for like 2.5 years, and my guess is maybe just a part and it went bad. Probably not the microphone. But with that aside, hopefully it works while I'm doing this recording, and yeah, let's talk about the IS-4. So as you can see, starting off this game we've done okay, getting out 1,200 damage. The enemy 2 and 5B is not playing his vehicle right. He's sitting, exposing his weak sides, and because of that, we're cutting right through. Now we are loading heat to confirm the pen, but still, pretty dang easy. As you can see, we've already blocked 1,400 damage, 1,700 damage this game in the turret. And this is what makes the IS-4 such a strong vehicle, is when you're able to sit hull down, use that turret, and butter through your opponents. We're already up to 2,200 damage, but what the heck? How is there a bat chat behind me? How is our team allowed a light tank to flank all the way behind us and get... Yeah, I don't even know what to say, to be honest, but you can obviously imagine that I don't want to get clipped in the rear for 1,050. So I'm going to make sure that I'm in cover, I'm behind the building. Oh, that was a really sad shot. That should have penned the 907, but unfortunately it went just a bit high and ricocheted off his upper plate. Now the 60 TP makes an overpoke, trying to shoot, I guess, one of my teammates, and we're able to get 3,000 damage out. At this point, it is 2-6, so I obviously know that this is going to be an easy dub. I'm already up to 3,500 damage, so I'm just going to try and farm just a teeny bit more. We're going to see if we can get any more damage into the 60. Easy shot for 340, and that was pretty easy. Okay, well, we got the boss Chatillon off to the other side. side. He's going to get shot once by the TVP, twice a little ram, and we're going to fire a shell. Unfortunately, it looks like it goes above his vehicle, but hey, we did 3,862 damage. And once again, unsurprisingly, this is a mastery. I'm still a little confused on why this tank's ace bar is so low. Just shows how, I guess, bad the tank is performing right now. But yeah, I really can't complain. Not too bad at all. I don't know why the game didn't just show us the results. Let me see if we can actually get the post-game results very quickly. Load back into the replay, exit the page, and whoa, magic. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do that the first time. So 3,800 damage, 1,700 blocked, and, I mean, not a bad result. We can clearly see the vehicle is still capable of doing okay, and that's about as much as I can say, to be real. It's a bit disappointing to see what Wargaming has done with it. Yes, I like the old version better, but do I think this version is terrible? No. I think it's still playable. It's still basically got the same identity, just I wish they had kept the HP the same. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and let me know what you guys think about the IS-4. I'm quite confident there's a lot of people that are going to agree that it just should have stayed the same. But I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.